All right, welcome to the generational gap where we take a topic and we discuss it with people from different generations. And today we're going to do sort of a reaction video, but first let's introduce the panel. All right, first our boomer,
How's
Coon,
everybody today?
our generation Z here,
What's poppin'?
Toxic Broski, and then we have the salt bag as our millennial. All right, we are going to kind of react to this video right here, at least the beginning. The panel has watched the video already, but we're gonna recap just the beginning to give y'all a little bit of what we're talking about.
Today's topic. I disagree with the red pill community, but I 100% understand that there's an absolute need for it. People often complain about like the rhetoric that comes out of like the manosphere or whatever. And I understand some of those because I disagree with a lot of the sentiments that they share. I've been called a blue pill and purple pill and whatever the term that they have. Honestly, I find the whole Matrix reference is super cringy, but it's 100% necessary. And I think one thing that people don't understand is that there's a lot of expectations placed on men in regards to the roles that they have to play in society, in regards to the roles that they have to play within the dating sphere. You know, the idea that we have to approach, the idea that we have to be the one putting the foot forward and doing all this stuff. I'm not saying that women don't have the responsibilities. I'm just saying there's a lot placed on us, right? The big problem is that we have zero resources in the mainstream to know how to do these things. We don't learn it from our parents because our parents oftentimes don't know what they're doing. We don't learn at school, and our friends are just as clueless as we are. So what ends up happening is that we look towards media. But the thing is, men don't have shows like The View. Men don't have shows like women do where they get to learn all the next beauty tips and have all their problems constantly talked about other than sports shows. And so what ends up happening is that men turn towards alternative media. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is a perfect example of that. He blew up. But yo, when he was just back in it was just a bunch of guys watching him all the time. Because like the first time that they watched someone speak in long form about that they were going through. I'm talking back in 2013 when his podcast was like, yeah, setup. Right. I used to watch it back then. I was like, oh, okay, cool. One thing I've learned, like just coming to realize with myself is like, I remember when we first started doing videos, I used to be like way more angry about a lot of stuff, right? And
Okay, that's the gist of the video. So I guess we'll start with the opening question. Do you disagree with him or do you agree? We'll start with you, Dad.
Well, let's see. I not in full agreement. I'm not don't really agree with that. It's only because I don't see the need for a man show like The View in that aspect because you don't normally need that. I mean, there's really nothing that you don't know what to do already. I mean, if you know how to talk, then you know how to talk to a female. I mean, I don't know what else you can say. If you can talk, you can talk to anybody. I don't know about the etiquette and all that, but it serves her this well this long. I don't understand. I don't even understand what the problem is.
Do you think your view is because you had those things growing up?
Did I have them? No, I didn't really have those. I mean, you just basically you learn as you went. I mean, you learn as you went. You know the things to say. I mean, like I said, if you know how to talk, I don't understand what the problem is. Because the first thing you got to do to get to know somebody is you got to talk. The anxiety comes from men because they're scared to talk. They don't want to approach the feet. They don't want to approach them because they got fear anxiety about getting turned down. But you can't. How do you say? What's the saying? Um, a closed mouth don't get fed. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you can talk, I don't see what the problem. As long as you know how to talk, a woman just like you talking to, like we talking right now, you could talk to a female the same way. So I don't understand what the problem.
Okay. Broski.
Honestly, I don't. I agree with them. I can't really say anything towards it. I agree with them.
Do you fully agree?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
guess I fully agree with that.
okay. Sawback, how do you feel about this subject?
Um, well, I think everyone's looking at it from the pinpoint view of talking to a female. Like, there's no like for me growing up, I had a lot of male role models and my older cousins and everything. So they helped me grow as a person. But like if it wasn't for like people like shows like dads like Carl Winslow, Uncle Phil, the shows like that. That was the closest thing we had to like male showing any kind of male thing on television. So I watched the dads to see how they interacted, not with the kids, but like other men. So like, okay, I learned a lot of etiquette from those television shows. So now in this generation, like where it's more like shows like The View, there's nothing for men in this generation coming up to look at and see like, okay, how should I act or how should I be? There's all reality TV, and if you're too over emotional, there's nothing to show them how to control themselves in a sense. So like other than sports, it's like you're a man, play sports. Like there's no way to show them how to act in society. And so now you got these wild young men coming up that have no structure. Their parents and their dads and their role models are all in jail or doing some other stuff. So it's like we have nothing to turn to. So I kind of think kind of agree with what he was saying. Like we don't have enough showing for like just the male space, to develop like women do.
Okay. All right, well let's go off of that a little bit. Do you feel a male space is necessary? Like do we need more male spaces?
I think yes, we need more male spaces in this society now. Like back in the 90s, we didn't because we family was more together still. Than even earlier, we all stuck together. Now it's like you got a young boy and he's raised by a single mother. All he gonna do is learn from the mother. So it's like he doesn't have those uncles all the time or those older cousins to learn from. And if he does learn from them, they don't know nothing, so they're just feeding off each other of nothingness. So there's nobody to really say this is a good role model, this is how we should act, this is how we should be, this is how you talk to a girl, how you treat her, respect, or the opposite. Either way, there's nothing, they're not getting any positive image put out there. And every time a positive image come out, somehow they get canceled. So it's kind of shooting ourselves in the foot.
So you're saying that the males today are more ignorant than in the past?
Yeah.
Okay, do y'all agree? Dad, do you agree?
I'm 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 torn here because see, I on my first answer, I was just looking at it as talking to a female. Okay, I didn't even go further off that. I was just looking at it as talking to a female. But the whole skew of the whole thing is this: you need a female can't teach a man to be a man. I don't care what nobody say. You can say whatever. You can't do it. You need a male. A man needs a male structure in his life. If his uncle, cousin, or whoever it is that's older and can get him more direction, that's true. But in the scheme of the whole thing, you're gonna learn on your own once you find out who you are.
Yeah.
When you find out who you are, everything else will go hand in hand. Because then you know what your limitations are. You know where you can go with this. As far as having shows to talk about manhood, let me put it like this, and don't take this the wrong way, but let me put it like this. Emotionally, men, we're damaged. Emotionally, we damaged because regardless of whatever you say, we don't talk. We internalize everything.
Yeah.
So a show that's coming out to tell us this. The first thing we're gonna do is throw our hand up and man, I ain't watching this stuff because emotionally we can't handle it. So, and most men are that way because you've been taught since you were a kid that a man has to be strong, that a man can't cry, that a man can't show his feelings, a man got to be in charge. He got to take care of everybody and everything.
Yeah.
So where in that space do you have time to worry about your feelings? You don't. Your feelings don't mature because it's still locked inside you. That's why they say men don't grow up until they're 40. And that's basically true. Because we still emotionally damaged from growing up because we were taught in the box. You feel what I'm saying? We were taught in the box. So by the time we get mature enough, we come out of that box. Then that's normally when you realize, wow, what have I done all these past years that I was crazy? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my take on that.
It seems like you have something to add, Sawback. Did you have something to add to that?
Oh no, I agree. I agree with everything you're saying. Like I remember growing up, you skin your knee. Don't cry. You be tough. Be tough. Be
Right.
tough. And it's like I feel like that's the way the majority of men grew up. But I also feel like there should be an outlet, kind of like almost like this show at this moment, like just so you can hear other people, see how they communicate. It might not be you're watching it, but you'll hear topics, and then you'll go to your friend circle and you'll discuss those things, and hopefully you can help each other grow.
Okay,
So,
let me ask a question real quick. Right now, how many men will go out here and tell another man, I got erectile dysfunction? Can you help me?
None.
not a stranger.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't
No,
even
I'm
tell
talking
my
about
dad.
your friend. Would you
I
go
wouldn't
tell
even
your
tell my
friend,
dad.
buddy?
We'll see. I'll tell my brothers. I'll text them right. I love y'all. No problem. Like, don't even care.
But
Look. We can be in
what I'm
public.
saying is,
Like, if I ain't
most
seen him
of
in years, I'll hug him. Like, as villain, I'll hug him. I don't care. Like I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with myself, and I know what I like. And for anyone that knows me, would know like, oh, just hug. This is all bad being silly. So if it all goes down to like, if you're comfortable with yourself, there's nothing really no one can do to make you feel that you can't share. Like, I done shared a lot of personal things in my life, and it's like, it is what it is. It happened. Like I can't change it, but maybe my experience can help someone hearing it deal with something else.
Okay, so overall, I'm saying is, not many men is gonna go out there and tell another man.
Actually, no. Now, see, I agree. It's not a lot of men that can do that, but
Right. So a man's show. Then the reason why the man's show didn't work is because a man ain't gonna listen to that. Because the first thing he gonna say is, "Can't another man tell me nothing?"
True.
See what I'm saying? That's the dynamic. And just for a fact, fellas, we are damaged. We are emotionally, we're damaged. Think about it. I didn't cry. I didn't shed a tear in my life until I was almost 55.
I can't say that, but
All right.
Do y'all agree that you think men are emotionally damaged?
I actually do have to agree with that. We're not allowed to show emotion. If we do, we're known as soft. That's by society.
But is that the same thing as emotionally damaged, though? Right? Because
Yeah.
is it being stoic? Right? Is that necessarily being emotionally damaged for being stoic?
I think we're more so emotionally hindered. That like we have a hindrance on our emotions. So a lot of guys grow up, and if you don't find a way to internalize it, that's when you get a lot of the the violence, because they don't know what to do. They don't know how to control themselves. They the revenge rage and stuff. I feel like that's where that comes from. You know,
Well, you got to look at it also is that you were taught to be aggressive.
yeah,
So you're
That's
you're
part.
you're thinking it's the environment that you were in is
That's
why
part.
you
That's
feel
part of.
men are broken? I mean, emotionally?
That's part of that masculinity. That's that masculinity maturation where you were taught what a man is. That's part of that.
Are you sure? They were
Well, yeah.
teaching men that they are just aggressive?
No, no. I'm saying it's like this. If you go outside and you fall, your mom or your dad gonna say you a big boy. You ain't gotta cry, right? You go
yeah,
home. You go home crying and say he hit me. The first thing your mother or father gonna say is, "Did you hit him back? Don't
yeah.
you ever come back in my house crying again." You being taught aggression.
Well, that's actually not a good example, right? Uh I remember my mother, right? And she was all about that period, right? That wasn't just a boy thing. So I don't know if that's a good example from my experience. But
No, it ain't necessarily got to be a boy thing. It's just that you are since we're talking about men. I'm saying that's how men were raised. Now you could throw in females because they're in the same household. They're gonna get taught some of the same lessons.
I don't know. Okay, but what about like our generation, the millennials, and a lot of Gen Z actually too. So if we were raised that way, why don't we see it as often nowadays?
See what?
That kind of aggressive male, like that's becoming more and more rare. It's frowned upon, right? Like a lot of us weren't raised like that. There's tons of people who's never been in any kind of physical altercation or being, physically aggressive, like you were talking about, right? And if you're talking about being emotionally broken and sharing your feelings, like nowadays, everybody's sharing their feelings, right?
Nah, I don't.
My generation definitely is doing that.
And your generation raised ours.
Yeah.
So, and we're like we're more emotional than our previous generations as a whole, I believe.
Yeah.
Um, but yet, like the video said, we don't see um a lot of media catered to us anymore, right? Why do you guys think that is?
It's not where the money's at.
You think it's monetary? Do
Yeah.
y'all agree?
Women are emotional buyers. Men
Yeah.
are
I feel like more women watch television shows, So
not.
for one, that's gonna be your main audience. Like even look at the Steve Harvey show. Like more women watched his show than men. At least I feel like I don't have numbers to back that up, but you see more women in the audience, so it's like all shows are gonna cater to them because they will show up. Men might like it or might watch clip, but we're outside. We're playing sports. We're fixing something. We're out congregating with our peers. We're not gonna sit down midday and just watch a television show. We're at work. We're supposed to be at work. So like women have that opportunity.
So
So
you're
that's
saying that women drive the market?
yeah.
All right. Well, if that's true, can we really complain about it then? If we're not driving the market?
Well, there's always room to complain.
Like, I'm not complaining.
There's always room to complain. There's always, but no, you really can't. Like, put your voice in. Like, if all the men put their voice in and stood as one, then we would change. Everything, more things could potentially change, but that's not gonna happen.
You have anything to add, Dad?
Well, see, basically, the demographics for the afternoon shows were geared towards hasn't changed. Well, since the '60s or whatever, when most men were working and women were at home raising kids. But the demographics changed now that most women are working. That's what I'm still trying to figure out the numbers for who's watching these shows in the afternoon. I mean, because women work just as much as men now. So when the men are at home, they don't watch the shows because they're geared towards women, and their demographic is basically to target the female. So I'm trying to figure out, and see that's where I'm at with men don't really. I don't know. I mean, okay, I'm spiraling out, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so all right, so you're saying, so what are some ways you think we can change or needs to change so that men get that outlet that, I think he said The View, right?
Yeah.
That
But see, first we got to get rid of the stigma that if I share my feelings that I'm weak or I'm soft. We got to get rid of that stigma first, because men ain't really coming. They ain't gonna come forward with how they feel, and they don't really talk about how they feel. Most men don't. Even in your generation, they'll still keep it suppressed some. So we got to come out of that shell, because we were put in that box at a young age, and it just perpetuated over the years. We don't share. We don't share like female. But
are you
in
sure? Do you
wait a
mean
minute,
like
wait a minute, wait a minute,
publicly?
wait a minute. But in Broski's generation, yeah, they yeah. I don't know what to say, but that's they some emotional devils down there. But oh, it's the patriarchal society is being torn down. So, and that's what we talked about, the masculinity the last time. So if you say you're a strong male and you have those traits, then you're a problem in all this. So it's hard to really put a finger on, but it's a lot of things that, because of the way most men were raised, that's why it's hard for us to take in those shows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But the question I was about to ask was, I mean, are you sure men aren't sharing? Or like, do you mean publicly? Because I know in our circles we do share,
Yeah.
right? Like
Nah,
in our circles we share, and like, and I know I'm a bad example because I'm a more of a private person, but in our circle we share, right? Like we don't share with anyone. Like like we might not share with a coworker, but you know, there's been plenty of times late night in the Discord where, they're going to rant, about how, they're feeling down or relationships or whatever. So I think we share. I just don't think we share
openly.
as openly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think we need to be more open to everybody instead
No.
of our small circle?
But if
Not
you do that, then
like that.
but
No.
if you do that, you be viewed as weak.
Well, if your circle is strong, then how could they view you as weak?
No, I'm saying if you go outside your circle
Yeah.
and you tell somebody outside your circle how you feeling, then they're gonna look at you like, you soft. Or grow up, man. You got a pair of balls, don't you? You know what I'm saying? Those will
Yeah,
be the comments that come out of that.
yeah, but isn't that's what your circle's there for? To back you up in situations like that? Like,
Well,
I mean,
no,
because to be
I'm saying,
honest, that's what females do, right? Like, they got their friend who jumps to the aid and makes sure nobody, encroaches on their circle, right? So maybe we should be more helpful to each
Yeah.
other.
yeah, and that's because we're not emotionally tight. We're still not emotionally tight. That's where some of the problems come from. It's like I said, it's just I'm still saying we're emotionally damaged.
Could you give us some examples of what you mean by emotionally damaged? I mean, I know you said we're not that you said you feel we're not allowed to cry, but could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Okay, it's certain things. It's certain things you don't do. It's certain things that, like back in my generation, you wearing pink was forbidden. That means you gay. See what I'm saying? It's different things in different generations that mean certain things. Like you couldn't openly talk about you or your family outside of your family, or you can't talk about how you feel to people. You can openly come out and say, "Well, I'm feeling sad today," and they're gonna tell you, "Man, pick your head up and go about your business, dog. What you a punk?" It's different times. So in those times, like you said, your circle, can hold on to you, but you still, even in your circle, you're not going to share everything. You're not.
Well,
And,
yeah,
and
but
what you
I don't think anybody shares everything, right?
what is it about? What you share is what you want to hear back. You're not going to share everything. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm taking Viagra. I'm taking them twice a day. I ain't gonna sit there and tell you that. I don't care if you're in my circle. I ain't gonna tell you that. You see what I'm saying? It's certain you not. It's still we're not emotionally free. We're still boxed.
I feel like I would share that. I would share like if that topic came up, like if we talking about like if we somehow got on a topic of stuff like that, and like y'all know such and such, and I say it. I wouldn't care because you can judge me all you want, but I'm unjudgeable. I'm so
I
bad.
if you're, it depends who you're with. Like if you're with the boys, you can say whatever you. Well, at least in my generation, because we say gay stuff all the time, just for fun. So I mean, in my generation, we can say whatever we want to the boys.
I prefer you say sexually questionable stuff.
Sus, sus. How about this sus? We say sus stuff all the time in a circle in our group, but like in public, no, you're not gonna talk about that. But if you
Oh no,
know,
yeah, never in public.
if you can be sus with them, then you can talk about anything with them. I'm just saying. That's my honest opinion on that.
Well, about the Viagra pill, like that's
I mean,
personal. Is that really emotional lockdown? Because you don't want to share that you're taking medication. Are you sure you're not mixing like two things from what you
well, if
consider
you take that,
private
that's what
to
No,
emotional?
what I'm saying is, if let's just say, if you're taking a pill and you say, "Hey, man, doctor gave me these pills, man. They work pretty good. Any of y'all got them?" They're gonna look at, even if they are taking, they're gonna look at you and be like, "No, man, that's only you," because they ain't gonna tell you they doing it. I mean, even if you open enough to tell them,
I
they're
say
not gonna
if I
come
was
and
doing
tell
it.
you.
my
I'm
homies would tell
comfortable
me.
enough with myself to say,
My
you
homies would
take
tell me.
those too? What prescription? So I know I can come get them from you next time.
Do
You
you
might.
think
No,
that's a
that ain't happening up here, dog.
are you sure that's just not the circle you keep though? Like maybe your circle isn't as strong as you thought it was.
Nah, it ain't happening up here.
Okay, what
Ask,
about if you was
ask,
heartbroken?
ask
What about a
anybody,
heartbreak?
ask
That's more
anybody
emotional.
55 and up, and see what they tell you.
What about if you're
Yeah, you
heartbroken?
gotta take my word for it.
Well, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just asking. Like, was it the people you kept around you? Like, were
No,
you in a toxic environment that you put yourself in,
no.
or
What it
was
is,
that just the life you lived back then?
what
Yeah.
it is your business is your business, and you don't share your business.
But I mean, like, not sharing your business is not
You don't talk about your business.
it's not
You
emotions though, is it?
don't, you don't share you don't share things about you. You don't talk about you. You don't put your stuff out there. Period.
He's referring to like you know how because you can't really trust nobody and you got fake friends. That's what he's referring to. You don't ever let no one know when you're down bad because they will betray you if they're your fake friend. But we're talking about like with real people, like people that you know have been there since like the lowest low. The person's up there when you like they're with you no matter what. We're talking about those people. We're not talking about the friend group. We're talking about like the close friend group. Like 'cause there's multiple types of friends. We're talking about like the really close people, the people that you could like that you basically are is family. That's what Brian's referring to, not the friend.
Um, yeah, kind of. That's kind of what I was asking. Like, is it like I was asking if that was the people you kept, or was that just the times back then? Like you really felt you couldn't share anything.
No, I really didn't want to.
You didn't want to. So was that a decision you made, or was that just how life was?
That's just how it was for me. I didn't. I wasn't. I wasn't. I was never an open person. I was very private.
Okay. Would you be open to your friends sharing with you?
No, not really.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I think that's where we differ because I'm a very private person too. But like, I'm open to hearing things because for a while, I was the guy everybody talked to, right? And it was
Yeah.
weird, but it's just something that happens. Like everybody needs to get it off their chest. I mean, maybe in your generation, you didn't really like it was frowned upon, but I don't think it was, at least in our circle, right? It wasn't frowned upon. That I mean, because like we all had tough skin, and we would joke you on anything, right? So I
Anything.
guess I guess since the fact that we were so tough on each other, I mean, you might as well, like you get joked regardless, right? So I guess it just we just it made us a different breed, I suppose, because like I don't think any of us had any problem sharing things that weren't personal, like emotions, like if we're talking feelings, I think we were all able to share those things. But I guess we should move on. If there was media that you guys would want to see, that was catering to men, that was outside of sports, what would y'all want to see?
You know what? As soon as you said it, like I popped it. It's this box set for men, where they might send you ties or clips or show you how to send you a special mixture of a shaving cream or something. And I thought about stuff like that, like a show that shows men how to do guy stuff, like how to
We
shave
have
or
that.
something, or how to tie a tie, how to shine your shoes, how
We
to
have
cuff
that.
your pants or something, like just stuff that you might run into in a business sense, or just you want to look nice, stuff like
We,
that.
we already have that. It's just not on TV.
What's that?
Alpha Male, that's a YouTube channel. He's one of them. I watch them at like almost every week. It's actually crazy.
I think I might have seen it.
You might have seen Alpha Male.
Yeah,
Everybody knows
yeah.
what Alpha Male is. But
But
like we
still
have
like
videos
that.
like that. Here's another guy. Technique Men's Fashion. He's on my like TikTok. I mean not TikTok, YouTube feed. I subscribe to him, and we have those. It's just they're not on TV. They're not as popular. I mean they're popular, millions of subscribers, but I'm saying like they're not TV
Yeah.
popular.
Like I know I was at a wedding and I did nice shirts, slacks and stuff. And I know my one friend, he's super prep, you know, he keep it together. He's sharp as a tack. And I called him, I said, hey, take a picture. That look good together? You know, I'm getting his opinion. I'm gonna ask him because he's the dresser, he's the snazzy one. So as soon as I got the thumbs up, I said, okay, I'm look good. I knew I was gonna be right, you know. So
Okay,
that's
so
like
since we have alternative media, do you think we need shows like that in mainstream, or is it okay with it just being alternative media?
I think we do because it's so broad spread. Like even home improvement stuff, like how to fix a sink, how to change a tire. You know, what does the oil change look like? You know, stuff like that. Like that you should naturally be able to do yourself, even if you want to pay somebody else. You should still know. You know, because not everybody's financially stable enough. You know, oil changes ain't cheap.
And so you want media that'll turn us back into the classic, do it all because he had to mill from like
Well,
the
We have
30s and the
yeah,
for
40s.
yeah.
that though.
I
We
like that.
have
If you
YouTube
had
for that.
to, yeah. I want to that if you had to do it, this is how you can do it. You know.
Well, see, they had that back in my time in schools, but they
Yeah.
took those classes out
Yeah.
to teach you those, to help teach you those things. They took all the woodwork, all the
Wood
auto
shop and
shop,
stuff.
all
Yeah.
everything. They took all that out. That's what Max Hayes was. That's all it was a vocational school. They shut them down.
Like I still got my little I made a little wood calendar with blocks and stuff. Still got it. You know. I was happy that I learned at least how to do little things like that. You know. And now I would love to learn more about it, but I ain't going to buy no saw. I ain't going to buy no table saw in the wood. I'm not doing it. But if I saw it, I'm like, you know what? I might want to. It might urge me to start saving to do that. But it's like with me having no outlet, yeah, YouTube is nice. It's nice, but I like to see on television. Give me a show like you got all these housing shows, these flip or flop. Two brothers. It's like my mother loves watching those shows, and it's like, but put that to use. Like you see them do something. That's how I got a lot of my creativity for housing design. Like I look at I like that, and I take a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Now I know how I want my house. So
Um, about the woodworking and stuff, we do have mainstream media. Do it yourself.
DIY.
DIY. Yeah, we do
Yeah,
have DIY media still. Um, I don't think it goes in depth on like car mechanics though, but like home repair,
yeah,
garden and stuff. Like we have those. Um,
Yeah, but there's nothing like hands on.
yeah.
well, I mean, you can't get hands on from media.
No,
So,
no, I was saying that it was in the schools back in the day.
oh, okay, yeah. So you would want to see it back in the education system.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so even before media, you
Right.
would want to see, education catered towards males a little more.
Well,
You-
to teach them the little things that they can do, and like everybody should know how to change a light socket. Everybody should know. Everybody should know how to change a tire. But you can watch it, but there's nothing like hands on.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess yeah, I can agree with that. What about I mean, putting it back in schools? I mean, is it necessary when YouTube is a thing, right? So if you if you get a flat and you have no options, right? If you got your phone on you, you can always look it up on YouTube. Like there's a tutorial right
Yeah.
there for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, and it's not just one source, right? You can get multiple sources. You can compare, right? I think the problem with mainstream media when it comes to things that's important is that there's the go-to, right? And that go-to is just one opinion. So like if we had a man show, it'd be just the man show, right? And it'd be no other opinions there. It'd be just that one. So I think that's what we've had in the past. Like when we've had men catered shows, like when it was just catered towards men or just attracting men outside of sports, that is, it was so few of them, right? So we don't have the variety, is I guess is what I'm saying, right? Do y'all think we need variety?
Yeah, I think I would love to see a show with 5, 6 men from completely different walks of life, like come together and talk about and like show the like because the way you do things in India might ain't the way you do things here. Might not be the way you do things in Canada and Mexico. Like different perspectives.
Kind of like we got right here.
Yeah, kind of like this. So hey, if any major syndicate is watching, check it out. Gotta put the
you
plug.
you trying to be the male view?
Hey, we could be called like the Focus or something.
I mean, what about the gap? I like it.
Hey, see, yeah, I dig it.
Yeah, because if it was on TV, they'll have to shorten it, or we'll just be like GG or whatever.
Yeah,
They'll ruin it completely. Um, but that don't mean I won't take the check though. But
Hey, we be GG the man show.
GG man show.
Yeah,
Uh,
but I feel like it should be something, even if it's not realistic, even if it's like this a television show. Like, there's nothing that really, like I say, I learned a lot of my ethics, morals, and values from like looking at Uncle Phil, like especially like on Fresh Prince, like the cop scene where he had to go pick up Will and Carlton from the jail, but for the racist police officer, like just stuff like that. I learned, okay, that's wrong. This is right. This is good. This is bad. Like how to temper yourself. Not how to be aggressive, be stern, but not be out of control. Gave me a good emotional base. I feel like. Then me being personally me, like you got to build on that. You got to want to build on that, and almost like I commune with myself, and I'll think back at different actions. They're like, was that really right? And I'll judge myself. Like I tell you, I'll judge everybody, and people are like, that's not right. No, because I judge myself. You got like that's how you grow. I judge myself and think, was that really right and was it wrong? I really look at it not from what I wanted, but just like, damn, was that right? And then I know next time don't do it that way, or it'll help me amend other choices. But those shows and those role models gave me that initial base to stand on top of the in-person morals and values I got from older cousins and stuff. Like it kind of blended into a nice little nugget of, nice little patch of soil to plant my seed. There you go, let it grow.
okay, so we touched on that plant the seed just kind of gave me a brain fart. But we touched on like my dad said, like they said men don't mature until 40, right? It is, I mean, how do y'all view maturity? Like what is emotional maturity to you guys?
um I feel like emotional maturity will be being able to take your raw emotions and keep them in check in a sense. Like like you can be angry and you can be upset, but not letting it overwhelm you, you know? Like you can show maturity. Like as a kid, someone says something about you, you want to jump in their face. As more you mature, somebody say the same thing, like, okay, I got you. Cool. Just let it. Because it doesn't affect you as much as it would when you were younger. So you emotionally evolved in a sense, matured. So
You
I
have
feel like
anything to add to that?
Well, I would say maturity and maturation as you grow, you question your things that you've done in your past, and you'll say that was crazy back then. But
yeah,
back then you didn't think about it as being crazy. You were just going off of
raw
not
emotion.
not not being mature. You weren't mature enough. You were still acting like a child because your reactions to certain things is to lash out and you did all kind of things instead of like when you get older, you would say, "Man, I'm not even gonna get involved in that," or
Yeah,
you'll walk away from that. And then because your interest and your maturation has changed you will see things in a different light the older you get because you experience more things. And you can look back, you're not gonna look back at my day and say I was so hot headed. If you looked at me wrong, I was swinging because I
broski.
was immature. But now I'm trying to talk to you now because if you hit me in the stomach, it's over. So
So
I ain't no sense of me fighting right now. So, you know, you look at things in a different light. You try to think and reason things out before you just fly off the handle.
Um, that definition kind of sounded like regret a little bit. Do you see maturity as regretting the things that you've done in the past, or
No, no,
being
not necessarily.
responsible for the things that you've done in the past?
I think
Yeah,
responsible.
yeah, you gotta be responsible for the things you do, but like I said, throughout your time of growing up, you experience things and those things change you. Then you're not the same person as you was 25 years ago. You're not even the same person you was 5 years ago. I know you may think so, but you're not because your life experience change you every day.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. You got anything to add, Sawback?
No, I agree. I agree.
You
Like,
agree?
yeah.
What about you, Broski?
I actually agree with him 100% in this one.
I kind of
Okay.
feel like Clem was is just an older broski right now, from the things he talked about in the past. Flower it's like he sounds like broski did.
Okay. So what do y'all wish? Like, cause it seems like being responsible in the past. Like, what do you think will bring? Like maybe not Broski's generation, but the next one. What do you think? What steps do you think needs to be made so men can be more emotionally free? Because I think you was like you were saying that they were limited, right?
Right.
So what steps do you think we should take to become more emotionally free?
But it's the stereotypes that plague men that we got to get over first.
Do you think those stereotypes seem to be going away, right? Um,
No, no, not
yeah,
really.
because
Not
being
really.
traditionally masculine
It's
Huh?
bad now.
is considered toxic now.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Right. So I'm saying with the stereotypes changing, What do you think we need to do to, be emotionally free earlier?
Okay, see, all right, because let's just say this. Why I say the stigmas that's on men is this. If you talk about emotions, if you talk about clothes and stylings and all this, one of the stigmas is he got a little sugar in his tank. But you might not even be that way. But that's the stigma that plagues us now. Because if you go back and you talk to somebody and you talk to another kid and you talking to them about feelings and all that, then because of the way we're stigmatized, it's going to be, oh, so now he might be a little gay, or he might be this. So we got to get over those stereotypes first. That's the first thing, because you can't open up when somebody's trying to put you in the box. If I showed all my feelings and emotions, then the first thing in today's society, maybe I might be called effeminate. But even
Um,
though I'm not, it's just even my mannerisms. I could be called effeminate, even though I'm not. But we got to get past all those stigmas that's put on men as far as being men, because all our stigmas is you hard, you strong, you this and that. So emotions really never came into that play. So once you start doing those things, then you either called gay, he's effeminate, he's all kind of things that's out of the norm. So we got to get rid of those stigmas first.
um, I guess I'll direct this next question to Broski, right? Because like he's the current generation, and it's like, do you feel you have those issues where you can't talk about fashion and things like that?
Um, I'm gonna have to say no, because we don't really care. Like for me, like I wear skinny jeans, and I know so many people that be like, "Oh, skinny jeans is gay." I'm like, yeah, okay,
Get rid of the stigmas. That's what I'm
yeah.
saying.
But like, I don't feel like we have to, because like it's easy fashion. I don't. I mean, like if you can ignore it, but if you are one of the people who can't ignore it, then yeah, then I figure that is because, like I said, just because me dealing with people talking to me doesn't mean someone else can deal with people talking about them like that.
Okay. What about you, Sobek? Do you feel that the stereotypes that my dad was talking about is still heavy in our
Um,
generation?
in pockets, yeah, but like like for me, like you have each our generation has to take the steps to break that mold. Like so, like my little nephews and cousins, like I make myself emotionally available for them. Like see how they doing. Like most talk to them, because that's how my older cousins and uncles did for me. They just talk to me, just regular old chit chat. See where your head is at, type of thing. Then if they start leaning towards a certain way, no, you don't want to go that way. Put them on the right path. But there's
But
not a
wait, what
open line
wait,
of
but what
communication.
way what way are they leaning that you're correcting them?
Well, no, I mean, like more so misbehaviors and stuff, like
Okay.
where
Okay.
like stuff like that, like put
All
them on
right.
the right track, to where like personally, like whatever they want to choose to do, go do it. Like, but understand, like these are like if they start leaning another way, these are the ramifications of those choices.
Right.
Let them see what the potential outcome of those choices are, and see if they really want to hold on to that belief. Like they could become super religious. Like these are the ramifications. You might run into these type of people, that disagree with you. How do you handle that? You know, they might say, I don't believe in whatever. How do you handle that with people? Like, can you control yourself?
Right.
So just keep them on the good on a path of being I like to call it a functional adult. Like not that's all I ask for. Just make them functional adults. Like so they can take care of themselves. And in the end of the day, they're gonna make their own choices. They're gonna do their own thing, you know. So like this, as long as you give them the tools to make proper decisions, you know. See when they fly off the handle, why did you do that? Have them think, why did you really do that at a young age? Get their thought process going. Like, do I really need to be doing this? Like, no. And then hopefully they'll grow up, you know, and be good adults. They might not be, but you did your part, you know. Maybe social media might convert them and turn them to a toxic broski, you know.
Um, all right, so those are some fair points. I don't know. I mean, like finding things out for yourself sometimes. Like does it mean more to figure it out yourself and like to just have experiences, or should all the information be set out in front of you? Right? Like which one do you think is better? Cuz like does it mean more when you figure it out yourself, or should like what Saltback said, and you know, just have all the options on the table and then let them choose? Do you think that's the best path, or you know, letting them live life would
letting
be the
them
best path?
live life.
You think live? Can you tell me a
They
little
gotta
bit
learn
why?
because they have to learn. Because if I tell someone, "Hey, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that," you know, they're gonna be always like, "Why?" Let them live a little bit. When they bump
Now
their head
wait,
a couple times, they'll realize.
did you tell them why?
I mean, you could tell them why, but they're still. I think about it as me. That's how I put myself in the situation. My mom told me, "Don't do this, don't do that." I'm always why, and I. Guess what? I ended up going back into a situation where boom, I got beat up. Now I'm like, well, now I know. Don't just be talking shit to anybody, you know, because someone gonna try you. You have to learn my lesson. So now, when I'm around anybody, or around public, I do watch what I say. I make sure I'm not about to say nothing stupid that's about to get me possibly killed. You gotta watch the situation. I never learned how to watch the situation and make sure I wasn't about to say nothing stupid. So
So
yeah,
you're saying you take it as the, you know, the fire is hot, you know, let them see
yeah,
that the fire is hot, or
exactly. That's another example. I believe it or not, I'm retarded. I still touch really hot things to this day, but I've always tried to touch the stove, and my mom told me not to because it's hot. I never would listen to her. So then she would turn the stove on just towards warm and make me touch the glass of the door, which it's not burning hot to hurt you, but it's hot, like you can feel the heat. And she would tell me that's hot, and then she would tell me what's cold. Like she had to have me learn it because you will never know something until you try it. Y'all can all tell me right now to my face that when I turn 20, I'm going to have back problems or whatever. I'm not going to know it until I find out about it. I'm not going to believe you until I find out about it. So, like, I'm literally like, you're not going to know fully until you learn. You learn from experience. That's what's build character, experience, not someone telling you.
But you kind of just said what the other thing too, right? Because your mom told you it was hot, told you it was cold, but you still made your own choice. So someone did tell you.
She told me, but you're still not gonna listen when someone tell you. So that's why you gotta let them experience.
But is it smart to like if someone say if you jump off that bridge without a parachute, you might not live? You gonna go try it?
I mean, okay, now that's just called retarded people. Okay, we're not talking about that. We're talking
about.
So wait,
no. So your mom said that's when the stove is red, it's hot and it's gonna burn you. You still gonna try to touch it?
I did still try to touch it, yes, but that's only because I'm retarded. Okay, I didn't say I said I was retarded. Okay.
So, but no. So you would jump over a bridge without a parachute?
No, I'm not jumping. I'm not that retarded. Okay. Just a little bit, not that much.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like you could tell them what's going on. You expect them to still try stuff. Like but at least they have a more educated decision when they get to that situation. Like me, like it at my job, like I love when I get shown something new. I can do it, but I feel achieved when I'm alone and I'm able to do it and repeat that action. Like it's like, yeah, I remembered, I got it done, I did it myself, I ain't need no help. Like, so it kind of gives me a sense of accomplishment. So I don't mind being told something. Like I'll take it into advisement, put a pin in it, ring the bell a little bit sometimes. But I don't mind. Like I listen, like all my friends, I listen to what they say. I'm like, that might. So if I get in that situation, now I know. Like one thing I've held on to, like I say, I never wanted to be a baby daddy. Never wanted to be a baby daddy. And because I saw what my friends went through being a baby daddy. So I said, I don't want to be that. They didn't have to tell me, but I see their situations. I learn from it. So like I tell my nephews, like, hey, whenever you start having sex, make sure you keep it together. And I show them examples of this could be your outcome if you don't keep it together.
Exactly.
And of course they're not gonna always do it, but at least they can't say, well, no one told me. No, you got told. You just touched the stove and burned yourself. Your fault. No.
I thought the end of that story was gonna get a lot darker. I'm happy it didn't though.
You gotta shine the light.
Do you have anything to add, Dad?
Well, the only thing I can just say is parenting is you try to look out for your child. You give them the basics that you can give them. But the thing that just gets me is when the parents say, "Oh no, not my child. My child didn't do that." No matter what you taught your child, when that child turned the corner to go to school, you don't know what he's capable of.
Nope.
You can give him all the knowledge in your mind. You can tell him everything, but he has to learn it on his own.
He got to make.
He will. He or she will. So it's just the fact that all you can do is give them all the knowledge you can give them, because they're going to experience it on their own anyway. You can tell them wear a condom. I want to go raw dog. You got herpes. There's whatever you do, there's consequences. So I could tell you everything, but you're going to find out for yourself. And so just remember that when you get older, you got to remember that you are the sum total of every decision you ever made. That's who you are.
Yep.
Okay. You kind of went back on what you said earlier a little bit. Like how you were just whatever your upbringing is, and then and then now you're saying that it's more of the decisions that you make.
Well,
So do you think it's a little bit of both?
It has to be, because like they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I can prepare you all day for life, but you're gonna make the decision is on you. It's gonna be on you. So yeah, it's a little bit of both. I can give you the reasons why you shouldn't do it, but you still gonna try it anyway. If I tell you don't do drugs, that's why we got all these drugs out here now. I know their parents said don't do drugs, but they wanted to try it anyway. So it's like I said, you the sum total of every decision you ever made. Not what I made for you, but what you made. But I can give you the books and the knowledge, but you're gonna use your own experiences to judge for the outcome.
All right, since you're the oldest and you've had children, how do you feel media's effect on your kids was versus what you were trying to teach?
Well, back when y'all was kids, The media ain't like it is right now. It ain't like that it is right now. Because back when y'all was kids, there was no such times or things where you saw they were actively kids talking back to their parents. That wasn't the thing back then. You know what I'm saying? It was certain things, but now it's the thing. And the questions. They ask questions like, "Well, why can't I do that?" No, that's a no, 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 no. You don't ask me why. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, times change as it goes up.
Okay. Does anybody feel that media works against parenting? Like they're at odds with each other in any way?
Uncontrolled media, yes. Yeah.
Could you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Like I see kids on like TikTok and doing stuff, but and they watch it and they think, oh, this is the wave, this is what I want to do, and they see the little clips and stuff. And if it's not monitored, then yeah, it could have an effect on how your kids come up. But if you monitor it, like and you see what they're seeing, you can kind of gauge them like, hey, don't fall for that hype, because that hype gonna get you effed up. You can let them know in advance. Like they still gonna try it, but but at least they got that inkling in the head. Some smart kids might say, you know what? I heard I was gonna get effed up if I did this. I'm not even gonna do it. Whether they're scared or whatever reason. But so I feel like uncontrolled media, you can run into some issues, bad language, fighting, So yeah, it needs to be monitored at least, and no days
Um,
to
how
18.
how how much monitor do you think is necessary? Like, is the media available for children right now just out of control where you need to monitor everything, or do you just need to keep an eye on it?
You just gotta keep an eye on it because kids are getting, I don't want to say smarter, but like you got 2-year-olds that know how to work a cell phone and tablet, like go to the app, swipe and stuff. So it's like, no, you need to monitor that. Like, nah, ain't gonna be no you swiping yourself. Like, I'll swipe, I'll choose, you just watch what I put on. I don't need you learning how to be fully functional with it, because then you're gonna be doing stuff when I'm not paying attention and I don't know what you're watching. So yeah, I don't trust that. It was that what is the Momo video where they was telling
Lord.
little kids videos. They was telling, she was telling kids to do bad things and stuff. Like, where the parents at? Why are you letting your kid watch? I don't care if I hate Baby Shark. I don't hate Baby Shark, but I don't care if I hate Baby Shark. I'm gonna see my kid wants to see Baby Shark. I'm gonna have to suffer through it because I don't know what video might pop up unless I done watched the video already and it's pre-recorded and downloaded and stuff. So no, I'm gonna monitor everything the children watch. Nope, we're gonna sit here and suffer. I'm gonna suffer, but that's part of parenthood, I guess.
Okay, that's a fair point, but
And I hope
when
the other parents feel the same way. Like when my kid go over there, I hope that you monitor what the fudge they doing. Because ain't no sneaking no boys in, sneaking no little girls in. No, don't no.
all right,
Can't
so
do it.
when is hands-on parenting when you take it too far? Because like sheltering your kids too much will kind of turn them into a
Yeah.
rebel.
Yeah.
That's what I say. I don't want to shelter. I want to monitor them. So like, yeah, I know what you saw. I saw it too. But you gonna see it I like I remember back in the day, like now, like back in the day, if a little boy wanted to see some scantily clad stuff, stay up late, take a nap during the day, stay up late, turn on HBO, if we had HBO, might see real sex, Now they can just Pornhub. So no, like, is that easy? Like, if it was that, I know the things. If it was that easy back when I was a kid, I wouldn't be the person I am now. So I feel like monitor them. If they go to something, no, you don't want to go there. Why? Explain, talk to them, break it down to them. They gonna go back, but at least they have the voice. They have you as their guide instead of their friends.
Your friends ain't gonna help.
Huh?
Friends is not gonna help.
Exactly. But at least like
to do it.
Do you have anything to add, Dad?
No.
No.
Nothing. Come on.
I think what was the question again?
When sheltering the kids is too much. Because he was talking about monitoring, like, that's like always watching over their shoulder. Like, when is it too much?
Well, that becomes, and I mean, if you what they call that today, a helicopter parent.
Yeah.
That that becomes too much because they're gonna have to grow and experience things as they grow. You just have to pay attention and monitor them. Like when y'all was growing up, I watched cartoons with y'all gladly. You participated in all that.
They were good back then, though. Like,
You
know what I'm saying? We had, gargoyles that used to come on every day, and Darkwing Duck and Batman.
Right. And see,
Like,
we used to stay up, and I used to stay up all night with y'all playing video games. All night, 24 hours, we up playing. So you have to be a part, and then and be a part of them. And yeah, but just don't be a helicopter parent because they got to grow. You can't stagnate; they grow. You gotta let them grow.
That's why you make them share their location. No.
I mean, well,
we didn't even have that back then.
We didn't have that. Deal.
That's how old we are. Like, now I think about it, we didn't even.
I was the only one with a cell phone, I think. And I had
it's not even that. It was like when we went outside as little kids. Like, we weren't necessarily at somebody's house where there was a phone, right? We were just out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They would just have to trust that we would come back on time. And it was always once the sun started going down, that's when I had to start making my way back.
You got the sunset, and the last timer was the street lights, Like sunsetting, as soon as you start walking home, when street lights come on, you screwed. I done lost many keys playing football on the football field. Like, key in the pocket. I start walking home like, I ain't got my key. It's dark now. I can't even get in the house. Got a buzz. Now I'm gonna get a whooping because I ain't got no keys. I go back to the park looking the next day, never find them.
Oh man, you gotta get you a lanyard, bro.
We ain't have it's football,
Yeah, but you could tuck it in the shirt.
Yeah. That was expensive. That was rich people stuff.
I had a lanyard. That wasn't rich people stuff.
I had a key ring. Don't lose it.
I think we covered everything. As tradition, do y'all have any questions for me or any final thoughts?
Oh, I got one final thought. If
Okay.
you watch this video to this point, I need you to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Log on to all our social media stations. Ryan, run those up for me, please.
You said run them up.
Yeah.
run the tags.
All right. If you want to get in touch with my dad, Clem, you can hit him up on Instagram at IG at Smoke2110. All right. If you want to get in touch with Toxic Broski, His IG is Toxic Broski 69
Yes, sir.
at IG. Wait, Saltback, do you got any social media you want to plug?
Well, my name is my social media over there. On which side? That side, right there.
Oh yeah, you do got added. Okay.
Yeah, at Saltbag25. There's only one Saltbag, and he's the 25th one. So also if you want some wholesome, footage and stuff, follow Jace_Windu, JAYCE_WINDO, Jace Windu.
All right. So no closing statements, no questions for me.
Oh, this was a good discussion. Like,
Okay.
Actually, a good one. We could agree.
Yeah, I think
yeah, I feel
y'all
like
agree for the most part.
we closed the generational gap just a little bit.
Just a tiny bit, though. But nothing too much.
Oh, one more thing for people who made it this far. Thursday we will be having some ladies because I know we got a little bit of criticism. We're not a big channel yet, but we got a little bit of criticism for not having females perspectives, and we keep talking about quote unquote man stuff. But I think we are having a couple ladies on Thursday.
Okay.
And we'll see you guys then. Like they said, please like, comment, subscribe, and please share right now. Sharing is probably the thing that'll help us the most.
Yes, sir.
And thanks for watching the generational gap.